Hello there, Uncle Rusty here. Welcome back to Society Sunlit Valley. Today, we're going to try and get a lot of stuff done. Now, number one comes the real boring part of watering all the crops because, you know, in spring it's supposed to be a rainy season, but I think I've only had like 2 days of rain total, so it kind of sucks that it's not raining because I would ideally like to be doing other stuff than watering crops. But you know what? You know what you signed up for when you subscribed and when you came to look at this particular series. This is what you're going to have to do in your game as well. Now, as you can see, I got my beautiful little farmhouse. That's all great. I think some of these crops are also ready to harvest, but we may not want to sell everything. Now, again, you might be going, but listen, Uncle Rusty, I thought you said we're going to make money. Yes. However, with games such as these, like with Stardew Valley and with, you know, all kinds of other farming games, there's a community center that we need to sort out. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where's this fabled community center that you're talking about? I don't see it anywhere. If you let me finish watering my crops and tell me about your day at this very second in the comment section, I will get to it. Now, until then, we're going to sit here and we're going to water our crops. And then I actually do want to start getting a mine going because I want to get my tools sorted. And I do want to start getting some armor because we want to adventure. Now, a lot of people have said they want to check the nether, which is great. But we need to get a diamond pickaxe to obviously mine for obsidian. Now, I could go adventuring and find a whole bunch of obsidian and a whole bunch of villages, which ideally would be the preference of things to do. However, it may not be the most prudent thing right now since we can't get diamonds that simply. And I say that when all we really need is an iron pickaxe. Yeah. I really also need to upgrade this thing. This copper is just, it's painful. You know, it's real painful. But as you can see, we have now collected turnips. And that is fantastic. But I might not sell all these turnips. And I'm going to explain to you why I might not sell all these turnips just immediately. Because, like I said earlier, we have a community center. And the community center kind of deal opens up a vast variety of different things that we need to progress in this mod pack. One of which might be the Skull Cavern. Now, the Skull Cavern, if you are familiar with Stardew Valley, is a very dangerous cave with a lot of really, really, really good goodies. We've made a couple of bucks here. And I'm going to sell these grapes and cherries and things. I do, however, want to check our bounty board. Hello, chicken. How do you do? I'm not going to slay you out just yet because we want to breed with the chicken. All right. But if you open up your quests, you'll notice on the left side here, there's a place called Community Center. Now, if I check the pantry, we have a spring crops bundle. And would you look at that? Turnips. We need 32 turnips. Oh, well, now we just need 16 turnips. But if you look at what they unlock, we unlock the greenhouse. Now, the greenhouse allows you to grow crops of any season, wherever. But that is not the important one we want. We want to sort out the vault for the Skull Cavern. Now, this is obviously going to be expensive because we need 2,048 coins, 16,384 coins, 24,576 coins, and 40,960 coins. So don't even begin to think that we're anywhere close by there to even remotely do that. But I'm going to focus on farm building. Now, we want to get a fishing rod, and you can buy this from the fisher, which is going to cost a little bit of gold, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, fishing works the same way you would think in any other thing. I'm going to ring-a-ling-ding the phone and call the fisher, and I'm going to buy me a fishing rod. But there's a secret to this fishing rod. In this mod pack, the longer you fish with a particular rod, the more enchantments get put on a particular rod. Now, you might be saying, oh, but Uncle Rusty, don't you need books and stuff for that? Yes, but why have a book when you can just fish? So, this fishing kind of works the same way it does in Stardew Valley. Now, these fish have obviously congregated over there, but those are not the fish we're looking for. For any person who has fished in Minecraft, that's what you're looking for. And what we're going to do, oh boy, is the classic Stardew Valley fishing. Now, you can turn this off in the config if you don't like doing this. But fishing is a great way to supplement a little bit of income outside of the norm of farming and mining and stuff. So my advice is, if you're not farming, you're fishing. So once you have done all of the stuff you need to do on your farm, go fish, go get a whole bunch of fishing done. And it's really very simple. Now, the nice thing is you do get these little treasure chests. Now, these treasure chests, you need to catch the fish before catching the treasure chest. That was my mistake, and now we're never going to be able to see what's in that treasure chest, which I still find is still pretty stupid. Even if I don't catch the fish, I should still get the treasure. But anyway, there are also different biomes in which you can fish. Now, currently, we are not technically in an ocean biome. We're technically in a fresh spring biome. If we go over there, we'll be in an ocean biome. Do not press left trigger. Press right trigger or right mouse button, depending on where you're playing on, to catch the fish. I really am getting really rusty at this whole tutorial style thing. But it's fine. I'm here to catch some fish. Now, the nice thing is, if you also check here in our community center, we have a fish tank as well. And over here are some of the fish we need to catch, which is, freshwater, crab pot bundles, river fish, ocean fish, and nether fish. Yes, we eventually need to go to the nether and try and catch some fish. So you might be asking me, but how is that possible? Isn't your rod going to burn up? No, because there's a particular rod we want to save up for that we're going to get. Now, I'm not going to catch this fish right now unless it's going to behave with me. It's going to behave. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, fish. I appreciate that. And we got 5. We got 5 experience to go with that as well. Just fish random experience. There's something wrong with that squid. I don't know how to feel about that squiddle. Squiddling the way he is, but anyway. Now, I'm ideally going to make sure that the rod and the treasure align, but I would like to catch the treasure chest. I really would like to catch the treasure chest, and I'm hoping it's a very particular treasure chest, unless it's a normal one. Alright, perfect. Fishy business. Now, we've caught a tropical fish as well, but we have also leveled up. So if you press K on your keyboard, you'll see now we get a little bit of extra luck while doing this. And there's a whole lot of skill tree. Excuse you, why would you turn that off? Please. I need to fix some of the buttons that, disable and enable my shaders. But it's okay. I'm here to teach you. You don't need to worry about my keyboard bindings. You need to worry about your keyboard bindings. And you need to be worried about catching all these fish. Now, this might just be a fishy episode. However, I like to keep at least a good 5 or 6 treasures on me because it's going to supplement. Now, you could, in theory, build your own little ocean here. And if you are very lucky and you find yourself in a mixture of the biomes, that would be great. So if I right-click this treasure chest, bam, I've just scored my first diamond. Told you, I don't even need to do anything. I just fish and I find diamonds. Bam. Easy. Now, this drooping fish, I believe, is an ocean fish. And I am going to submit it because we can get an evaporator, which I'll explain way later because we don't need to be evaporating anything right now. Ideally, what I'd also like to do is I would like to make this just a little bit easier. I could fish from up here, so I don't have to go down there. I just need to pay attention. But fishing is also a great way to make money very early on. And the nice thing is, eventually, your fishing rod will start improving its stats on its own. Now, I don't want to catch the fish without catching the treasure chest. But we will eventually want to upgrade our fishing rod as well. Because we don't just want to play with a plain old fishing rod. We want to play with a diamond level fishing rod. Because the diamond level fishing rod is eventually going to give us really, really, really good stuff. So I'm going to stay here and catch a whole bunch of fish and make a whole lot of money. It's not going to be a great amount of money, but it's going to supplement everything else you're going to need to do in the game. And then eventually, what we want to do is, once I've got a little bit of money on me, I am going to want to go mining. Because we need copper, we need gold, we need diamonds, we need lapis. the usual Minecraft stuff that you would need. You would also need some zinc because there is automation in this. However, you need to unlock the automation by doing quests. And bam, just gonna grab another fish here. Now, technically, that was ocean where we fished, so it's fine. Let's see what our quest says. All right, so we need to upgrade our rod, and we do want to upgrade the rod to an iron rod, and for that, I need a smithing template for that. Now, I do believe I have one piece of iron, so I'm going to show y'all how to do this. What did I get? I don't even know, man. Aquamarine. Oh, we need that. That's fantastic. We need this. So I'm just going to sell these fish, because we just don't need them right now, and if we do, well, we can always catch more. All right, perfect. Do I have one little piece of iron somewhere? I don't even know if I do. I don't think I do. I think I used my last iron to make a bucket. Well, that was dumb. We do not have iron. Oh, well. I'm going to have to go and mine some iron. Okay, well. Remember that time I said we need to go mining? Well, I'm probably going to go do that way earlier than expected. To be quite honest with you, unless like a little treasure chest drops me a whole bunch of iron. The diamonds don't mean anything if we don't have the money to do anything with it. Remember that? We need money to buy the smithing template upgrades to upgrade everything. And you have to upgrade in succession. So what that means is, if I start out at stone, I have to go to iron. I can't skip from stone straight to diamond. Kind of sucks, but that's the level of progression with these kind of things. So, if you thought you were going to get around that, well, let Uncle Rusty tell you something else, man. It ain't going to be as simple and as that as 1, 2, 3. You know, buckle my shoe, 3, 4 at the store kind of deal. That was a really old nursery rhyme, and I don't like that. All right, perfect. We found some aquamarine. That's fantastic. Now, we can make a crab trap, but we need zinc for this. We need quite a bit of stuff for that. I will eventually get to that, but for now, I just kind of want to keep my bearings together and just keep eating here. And I could go some nighttime fishing, but I ideally want to upgrade this rod of mine. And I am trying to see, maybe we'll get lucky and bash open a geode here. Now remember, when we mine, we can use these geodes to break open something. Did I get anything? Oh well, that's jamborite. And you'll notice that we get these geodes. Now, these geodes, if you go over here to your gems and minerals and things like that, we do have a completion list that we need to do. And the normal geodes tell you where you've completed everything. And our main goal is to 100% this mod pack. That is our main goal. And you do have a whole achievement-based system with this as well. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to steal one of the lamps here in the village. I see a beautiful little lamp there. And I'm going to show y'all a neat little thing that you can do in your adventure as well in the mines. Now, I did say that the mines are pretty dangerous. But if you do grab this, one of these lamps, and you right-click it into your charm slot, boom, I can now see what I'm doing. Look at that. We have a lamp. Now, we can't rub it and get 3 wishes, but that's okay. And I'm going to make sure I've got that. I do have some torches, so it's not the biggest thing in the world. But my main goal right now is to find some iron. Now, I know for a fact that this cavernous mountain over here has some stuff that tree god he's still staying there, isn't he? Yeah, he's eventually going to come and kick my ass. But it's okay. You know, I'm probably overdue for a good ass kicking. But today is not the day for kicking my ass. I'm going to grab all of these berries so that we've got a little bit of selling and some food. And maybe just grab some wood as well. And once we've got that, just get in me. Thank you. We can at least make a crafting table and some torches should I need that. But we're going to make our way down here. And I'm going to try not to die, because it is pretty scary here. I'm not really seeing anything. Unless that's iron, that looks more like zinc. Right, a slime spawner. Fantastic. What kind of slime are you, though? We'll eventually want to do slime ranching, but I will get to that. We're not actually very well equipped to do any kind of slime ranching at the moment. So you can ignore this. This is some iron. Yes. Cha-ching, baby. Very much cha-ching. All right, I am going to grab the copper as well, because we need a slew of copper for a lot of stuff as well. Some of these pantry stuff or community center things, we need an actual metric truck ton of iron and copper and all the other things. I almost forgot what they were actually called. Now, again, I said that mobs do spawn underground. As you can see, there are some red dots on the map. So there are hostile mobs in this mod pack. So we're not just going to have a whole good fun time being together here, baking cookies and clapping hands. No, no. There are some very real dangers in this mod pack. And we will eventually explore it. But for now, I just want to grab as much resources as I can to ensure that we can upgrade what we need and then go from there. He says, finding a mob spawner? That's not good. I'm just going to put a torch on you. Thank you. Oh, loot isn't generated, but that's a spider spawner. There you go. If you didn't think monsters spawn, well, there you go. Ooh. Alright, I do have a backpack, so I'm going to stick my stuff in my backpack here. Willow sapling. It's not a great amount of loot, if I'm going to be honest. I've seen better loot spawn other places, but I mean, still a spawner if you ever want to farm up experience. But again, you don't really need an experienced farmer because you're going to get a lot of experience in this mod pack just by doing things. And experience doesn't work the same way like it does in Minecraft. Here, the experience you gain is from the stuff you do. Like I said, in the bottom left corner, you'll see I'm getting mining experience from mining nodes and mining coal and copper and all the other stuff. So it really isn't worth your time and effort to do the mob grinder. But if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. You know, if you find a good method to use it, hey, who am I to stop you? These are slimy slimes. Apparently, they seem to be friendly. Slimes don't really hurt you, but some slimes have got weird mechanics. So, I do want to try and grab more stuff wherever I can without dying. And there you go. Hostile mob spotted. Oh, skeleton. So, if you ever thought that you were safe, guess what? When you start mining, that's when bad things happen. Now, another thing I wanted to show you is you'll see these little bubbles over here. You'll notice that there are no magma blocks under here. But what could these mean? If I throw my rod at it, look at the little stars. That means, much like in Stardew Valley, the bite rate of any fish here is increased, and they're going to bite more frequently. Now, I unfortunately have the misfortune here of getting a fish that will not cooperate with me. I am going to skip that chest and hopefully try and catch this fish. And eventually with better rods, the fish catcher bar will improve in length, which means this will be at least a little easier to do. But with a dinky starter rod, this is not ideal. Now, we could very much get blown up by a creeper. However, creepers don't blow up the way you think here. Creepers blow up in fireworks in this mod pack. Now, if I got screwed by the game there, thank you very much. Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw that, okay? I don't need to say anything. You all saw that. Now, you might also find these beautiful blocks of beauty. These blocks do quite a bit of stuff. Number one, they don't break immediately, and two, they give you a lot of resources. Now, these are very much nice to find later on in the game, so I would highly encourage you to explore, mine, do the usual Minecraft thing if you need to, but those blocks are amazing. Those blocks are actually just amazing. And oh, it's so good when those things happen. I tell you, it is really just good. There's a creeper. I don't have what I need, and I could die here. And where's my food? There it is. Okay. We are going to try and whack this creeper, just so that I can show you guys what he does. Hey, buddy. All right. Whoa.
Job
there you
done.
Go. Sorry about that. I seem to still have my notifications on. So if you hear that every now and then, okay, we cannot get the zinc ore, because as you can see here, it requires a iron pickaxe. But for anyone who thinks I was playing on easy and mobs don't spawn, there you go. There was some confusion. Mobs don't spawn naturally in the overworld, right? Or at least on the surface layer of the overworld. stuff like lightning storms that make witches and zombie pigmen, that can still very much happen. That is very much a thing that can happen. And slimes, like zombie slimes, those things definitely still spawn zombies. So it's not that it's impossible for them to spawn. It's just that they do not spawn by the rules of this particular mod pack naturally in the overworld. So for anyone who wanted to clear up that confusion, there you go. Before I get ragged and said, no, they were spawning. I know. Don't you worry. I know. All right, I think I got enough iron. I don't think I have completely enough iron, but I have enough iron to facilitate upgrading some stuff. Ow! Why? Now, if you want to, you can obviously disable some rules in this mod pack and make it a little bit harder for yourself. But I will say, you'll see we don't lose any durability on our tools. However, if you die at any point, everything in your inventory loses durability. Your armor, your weapons, your tools, every single thing loses durability. So my advice, do not die, but you will. And you might be asking me, but Uncle Rusty, you said we won't die. No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. You will die. You will 100% die. You just won't die in the manner you think you will. Eggs also. You cannot throw them to spawn chickens, so that was to show you that can happen. And I only walked away with 3 pieces of iron, so I'm actually pretty mad at myself, but it's okay. And before that sun even begins to think about setting, I'm going to sell 1 earth crystal, and if I check in my boiler room, there should be a bundle here that requires an earth crystal. Now, we need 4 earth crystals, but you want to keep these earth crystals as well, because we are going to need them for later crafting things as well. But my main point today is to upgrade this piece of iron. Oh, no, I got 3 more iron. There we go. Never mind. I got a bunch of iron. Now, I am going to sort out my chests. I want to build up my house. And if you guys have ideas for the house, please let me know in the comment section. But ideally what I'm going to do is I'm going to phone the blacksmith up, ring-a-ling-ding, and I'm going to get this smithing upgrade. Now, I kind of want to get 2 here because I want to upgrade my pickaxe. I do. So, I have that in hand. We'll wait for this last one. Ring-a-ling-ding. 1,256 gold. Yeah, it's not the best, but it's also not the worst. Fine. Right, so ring-a-ling-ding. Good morning, villagers. How do you do? Let's go over to the blacksmith table. And the first thing I'm going to do is upgrade the fishing rod. Boom. Next, my pickaxe. Boom. Look at that. And now we have upgraded. Now, I am going to make a sword, but now we have upgraded. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to go to the fisher as well. And there's a specific barber that I want. And I want the treasure barber. Now, we only have 13,000 gold. I am going to buy this. And I'm going to attach it to my fishing rod. And the reason for that is every time we fish, we want to make sure we catch the treasure. We do. We want to make sure that the treasure is caught, because that treasure is going to make our lives very much simpler. Now, I am also going to upgrade here. And I'm spending money to make money. All right? I'm spending money to make money, but I also want to upgrade this watering can because, number 1, it will hold more water, and 2, it comes with a little ability as well. It comes with a little ability as well. Now, you might be asking me, what ability? What are you smoking? Okay, I'm not going to tell you what I'm smoking because then I would have to murder you. But, you know, for between ourselves, all right? Between ourselves. This is just going to help you in the long run. Now, if you shift and you hold space or hold right click, you can now water 3 blocks at a time. Note, you do have to hear the little ching and you have to wait for the stars. Otherwise, you're only going to water 1 thing at a time. Now, we have gotten our lettuce sorted, so I'm going to harvest my lettuce. But lettuce is also one of the things we need to keep for our pantry. It does take a little bit of time. I know. It does take a little bit of time. And sometimes it's a little finagly. So you just have to play around with it. You'll see that I'm aiming more at the ground than at the plant. And the reason for that is sometimes the block interferes with like how the watering works. So like you'll see these large stalks. They don't always follow the rules like you saw there. Now, I'm a pretty impatient person. I like doing this one at a time. So I know a lot of people are going to yell at me and be like, no, but you must use the ability. Okay, don't worry. I'll use the ability. But you can see it does take a little bit of time longer to use the ability instead of running around like this. In the time that you have done that, I have already watered a bajillion crops in the time that you've watered 3. So it's the same kind of concept with Stardew Valley that I have, that I prefer expediency over like large amounts of efficiency. But later on, when you upgrade this water can, it becomes so much better. However, when you get to the point of upgrading the watering can, you may as well invest in sprinklers, which eventually we will do. But right now, I'm just going to do the basic farm thing. Try not to whack the golem. The golems will still kill you. I will tell you that 100%. The golems will still kill you, and you really don't want to die on your farm having a happy good old time when a golem is just like, hey, buddy, please don't hit the villagers in front of the golem. Now, as you saw there, with these things, do not aim for the plant, aim for the block that the plant is on, because otherwise it's just not going to water. And the flax is more for selling than anything. We're not really going to need it for later on, unless you like do some of the other crafting things. We've at least got a nice forest growing as well. And with that, I'm going to keep my lettuce on me. Now, we do want to keep the lettuce as well, because the lettuce is going to give us our pantry stuff, and once our pantry stuff is done, huzzah, Bob's your uncle, we're done. All right, perfect. Now, I am going to sell that, and let's just check here. Now, on our advanced building, we've upgraded our rod, which is fantastic, and minigame modifications. I did get a bobber, so the game, again, is not realizing that I have a bobber, but just keep it in your hand, huzzah, and boom, fishing is done. Now, we can make a tackle box and a whole bunch of other stuff. And the tackle box really is just to keep all of your bobbers and stuff in there. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also not the greatest thing in the world. I also need to see why this thing is doing what it is doing, being a little bish. But anyway, spring crops, lettuce, boom, submitted. And then we just carry on with our day. Now, we've improved the iron rod. And now if I go fish, you'll see that the bar has upgraded, and I'm hoping I can show you a cool thing here if there's a treasure chest that I can catch. We're going to see. I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I'm going to see first. Now, you'll see, there you go. So, at 1, the length has increased, and every time you hold that treasure chest. Oh, beautiful golden apple. The fish cannot escape. The fish cannot escape. The bobber will make sure that the one on the right does not go down, and that will allow you to catch the treasure chest without losing the fish that way. So if I can get another one of those, that would be great. That was a nice golden fishing chest with a golden apple, baby. Save your golden apples. Side note. Trust me, you're going to want to save your golden apples for this one. You really are. Now, if I can get another treasure chest, that would be great, but I don't think I'm going to get one. Alright, tropical fish is fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just cool. It's not ideal, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I'll say that much. It's not the worst thing in the world. Could be bad, but it's not. I think we can all agree there are worse things in the world. The Ender Dragon can come, swoop us away, eat us alive. Now you see, sometimes you get these fish. These fish that don't want to cooperate. But like you see here, instead of our teeny tiny little bar, we have a very large bar. Alright, so I do want to show you something. And I'm hoping I'm correct. But if I change up my biome a little bit, we should see it somewhere over here. It should say wet season permanently or something like that. But I don't know if this will classify that really. I'm going to try and go more this way and see if there's like deep ocean. Hello, crab. How do you do? We could probably kill the crab, but I'm not going to. But I just want to see if this registers as different, because there is warm ocean. Now you see there's mid-wet season. Now there are certain places that are consistently wet and rainy, and closer to the ocean is ideally where we want that. But this technically should be different biome unless it's not, which I don't know. Unless I'm very wrong, and I am. It's okay though. You can go explore. You can fish in swamps. You can fish in desert areas. You can fish in normal plain old biomes like this. You can fish in deeper biomes. I would suggest climbing on a boat, going deeper into the ocean, because there are certain fish that only spawn in certain biomes. So if you are trying to finish your fish tank, that would be the way that you want to go about it. And I'm just catching this drooping thing. Now, I'm not going to complain. But you know what I want? I want more treasure chests. That's what I want. I want more treasure chests. Ah, perfect. The bubbles. She speaks. Now, if the game don't bone me like it did earlier, we should be okay. Treasure chest. I have a treasure bobber for a reason, to catch more treasure chests. And it don't give me... It gave me gold coin. So I suppose I can't complain. But I mean, I want to complain. I feel like I want to complain. You'll also find some of these seashells just chilling around here. Now, collect these. These are great. I don't think these ones are the one that open. No. If you see these little star spots, you'll find clams. Now, these are great for opening because you can get certain items out of it. So what I'm going to do here is just right-click them. And look, you can find like raw muscle meat, gold nuggets, and even lapis out of these things. So if you are perusing the beach and you see these things, smack them. Get them. Pick them up. It's great. Open them up. Get a free treasure. Boom. Look at that. More raw muscle meat. And you can obviously go cook the raw muscle meat and turn it into cooked muscle meat. And that'll be a nice snack for your character. Just to make sure you don't have to worry about everything else in life. Just carry on. Like the world is your muscle. I don't know. I'm going to eat the raw muscle meat because why not? And then I'm going to sell up these fish. Oh, nice. Berries. Red grape seeds. Not berries. What am I talking about? I know the difference between berries and grapes. Pshaw. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now all my OCD is happy. Goodness gracious. All right. This is looking pretty good. I'm going to store this up. And I am going to sell the fish here because we don't need them. We can sell the seashells. I want to keep the rest of this. And I'm just going to cook up my raw muscle meat because why not? It's probably not a lot of nutrients, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, ideally, eventually what we want to do is we want to start getting this farming thing going. Now, a market is also a very easy place to get what you need for in terms of farming and stuff like that. So I am just going to build this real quick. And we need a chest and 4 zinc points. It's very easy. Very, very easy. So if you don't have your villagers up and going, this will be the way to do it. Now, I do think this eventually will likely get nerfed or changed. Because eventually when you get the phone, the rest of this becomes pretty, you know, more for achievement purposes than anything. But there you go. There's a market. And I suppose we'll place him out here. Why not? You could chill here. And then, whee! Hello there. How do you do? And this is where we can also buy like villager spawn crates and saplings and seeds and all kinds of stuff. But like I said, this is more for achievement purposes. However, we do have a calendar, and the calendar just tells you like, you know, what day it is and all that kind of stuff. We've also upgraded our watering can and we've upgraded our hoe. Now, bone meal, again, does not work the way you think it does, as displayed earlier. Bone meal does not work, so I'm just going to grab that achievement. Hello, game, thank you. I'm just going to grab that achievement and be done with it. And there we go. Fruit trees. We have already planted a fruit tree, so the game is not going to give me that achievement. But that should be good for now. Hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did, please consider leaving a like, subscribing for more Society Sunlit Valley. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please let me know how your farming experience is going. And if you have any tips, leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, Uncle Rusty says, don't let that fish off the hook.